Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. Hello. And it is Monday. It is the 25th of January. So we are just about done with the month of January. And that means, sadly, just about done with the DaVinci Tarot deck. This is a deck that has been in my collection for quite some time, and I've really enjoyed this month of kind of picking it apart and seeing what some of the symbolism is in there and how these cards differ a lot from some of the more traditional decks. But it has been a blast, and I'm excited to see what the cards have for this Monday. And it is kind of a blustery, crazy weather Monday, so maybe we'll get a crazy card to go with it. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Aha! Okay. Cards are sticking together. All right. We have the Four of Wands. And this one is not usually depicted in this way, but I don't see anything wrong with the way this is depicted. It is interesting because it's clearly, the Madonna and Child. So the very kind of quintessential mother and child position of things, the mother and child that we know very well in the Western world. And usually the Four of Rods has like four standing wands or staves, and they're holding up kind of some garland and things like that. And there's a happy family kind of maybe underneath them, or there's a beautiful village in the background. In this case, it's really focused on the family and the core unit of that family, which is mother and child. I do like this because I think really what it expresses is that connection between generations and that connection between our elders teaching us or our mothers teaching us or our ability to be vulnerable to others. So in a situation where you may be like, oh, everything is well and good and wonderful, but maybe it's not. Maybe you want to look underneath and see what you can give back to those who have kind of made your life as beautiful as it currently is and how you feel very safe and secure around them. That maternal energy of security and love and feeling emotionally supported as well as physically supported can be a bit like narcissistic of us, I guess you could say, when we think about that, hey, my life is great and it's wonderful and it's happy, but think about the people around you who give you that gift of their support, their solidarity, their emotions, and make it okay for you to feel vulnerable and to make mistakes and do things. And it's okay to make these mistakes because you have them to help you and to kind of feel things out. Whereas when this card is inverted, it means that like the home life is kind of a mess. And I feel like in the sense of, I know I'm being totally traditionalist in this, but when mom is in a good place and the house is good and happy, that maternal energy is good and solid, I feel like the child is able to grow and able to be who they're going to be. Whereas if the mother is not supported or the mother is not in a good place or maybe the mother is absent, very often the child is left to kind of fend for themselves a little bit more. And I'm not saying that in the like day-to-day sort of way, but we like to know that we can call mom or dad or whatever the maternal or emotional support figure is in our lives. We like to feel like we can lean on them. And when this card is more traditionally depicted, where it's like about community and all of that, it seems to separate itself from what the core values of us as human beings are. We, as a human being, if we go back to childhood, sort of that energy, we can see that that inner child needs to be protected. The inner child needs to be supported. And that is for us creatively, as well as physically, as well as psychologically and emotionally. If all of those things are well taken care of, the community sort of builds itself around that. Whereas when you think, oh, well, the community has to take care of the child, yeah, but how well cared for is the child by a number of people versus that deep connection between mother and child? So maybe I'm getting a little preachy about the whole mother and baby thing, but I do really like how this is like, hey, clean your own house up before you start trying to fix everybody else's problems. Make sure your space is good before you start saying, hey, I can help my community and I can be out there and do all these things. Yes, it's good to feel supported by the community. It's good to feel like you can support the community in turn. But ultimately, bring it back to the core of your being and the inner child energy and all of that kind of thing. I think I forgot to read the journal prompts in this the other day, so I'm totally reminding myself this time. So let's see what we've got for our journal prompts on this card, because I'm kind of curious. All right. Okay. Here they are. Okay. How can I be more approachable and vulnerable? I love that those two things are kind of in the same question because, yes, being vulnerable makes you approachable. And being approachable is about showing that vulnerability that you have. Who needs my help and how can I freely give it? See, once you're good, you should give back to the community kind of thing. I like that too. And what am I doing to nurture myself and to nurture others? I had no idea this was going to be so nurtury about the inner self. But yeah, I do think that this card is more about making sure like all your ducks are in a row so you can help the outside world and all the people who are in it and support you. So I hope that that's a good card for a Monday. I think that, that gives us kind of a tone for, hey, take care of people this week and be there for others this week and be there for yourself as well. Take a moment to refill your own cup and to nurture yourself. Take a bubble bath, read a book, journal, take some time to yourself so that you can go out into the world and be a good influence to others rather than a grumpy, not so great influence to others. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!